Very good evening to all our guests out here tonight who were able to join us for the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers Sri Lanka's branch's annual Customer Service Ceremony Award, despite the ongoing situation in the country. However, this century has allowed us to connect with individuals much more further away from us with just one simple link and a click. With that, I would also like to invite our guests who are joining us virtually via ICS social media platforms and Zoom. Now, before we move forward, we would like to inform you that this event was originally planned to be held on the 27th of March and then pushed to the 8th of October. However, due to lockdowns that were imposed following the first and second waves of COVID-19, ICS Sri Lanka branch was compelled to postpone the Students' Award part of the ceremony and to hold only the Customer Service Awards today while adhering to health guidelines. Now, with all of that in mind, I would like to invite our chief guest for tonight, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, General R.M. Dayaratnayaka, and our guest of honor, CEO of South Asia Gateway Terminal Private Limited, Mr. Romesh David, to come forward to the head table. Of course, joining them at the head table this evening is Chairman of the ICS Sri Lanka, Mr. Kingsley Abewikrama. With that, please rise for the national anthem. Of course, once again, we would like to extend our very warmest welcomes to joining us despite the rain. Very warm welcome to all of you all. I would now like to invite the chairman of ICS Sri Lanka, Mr. Kingsley Abewikrama, to deliver the welcome speech.
Ayubowan. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of ICS Sri Lanka Executive Committee, let me warmly welcome all of you, first in person, and also every one of you who are joining online for this event. Let me firstly warmly welcome our chief guest this evening, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, Mr. General Daya Ratnayaka. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and for gracing this event despite your well-known busy schedule. Let me also welcome our guest of honor tonight, Mr. Romesh David, Chief Executive Officer, South Asia Gateway Terminals. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and for being with us here today. Your presence here matters a lot for us. Let me now invite and welcome all the privileged, distinguished guests who are joining us right now online through our social media platforms and also through Zoom platform. Starting with Honorable Secretary of the Ministry of Ports and Shipping, Mr. UDC Jayalal, Director General of Merchant Shipping, Mr. A.W. Seniviratna, Director General of Customs, Mr. Major General Vijitha Ravipriya, Harbour Master, Captain Nirmal Silva, Managing Director of SLPA, Mr. HDAS Premachandra, CEO of CICT, Mr. Jack Huang. Let me also welcome the leaders of all the trade associations who are joining us right now through the social media platforms and through the connect. Let me welcome chairman, presidents, and chairpersons of CASA, SLAVO, SLAFA, ACDO, SLANA, Shippers Council, Vista, Willett, CIFA, ACFA, ACT, CILT, SINEC, and also from the Trade and Finance Association of Banks. I warmly welcome all of you, and we are pleased to have you here with us online. May I also welcome my gurus, the past chairman, chairperson, and past secretaries of ICS Sri Lanka, namely Mr. Maxwell De Silva, Dr. Parakrama Disanayaka, Mr. Bandula Disanayaka, Mr. Lalit Vitanarachi, Mrs. Anoma Ranasinghe, Mr. Manjula Agalabatta, who's here in person as well, and Mr. Mohammed Ilmi. Let me also welcome all the distinguished guests, industry leaders, chairman of all the shipping houses joining us online, and also our fellows and the members of ICS. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, welcome you again. 2020, probably the most popular format of cricket, but 2020 as a year is not the best one for the mankind. But at the same time, year 2020 is a very special one for ICS. Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, which was formed in London back in 1911, is celebrating 100 years of receiving Royal Charter this year, 2020. So that's a very special year for us. And in the meantime, here in Sri Lanka, ICS Sri Lanka has been serving the Sri Lankan shipping industry for the past 33 years by teaching, by lecturing, by having seminars, by having workshops, get-togethers, and the other functions. So there is no doubt that ICS, when it comes to the knowledge in shipping, ICS could be the most sought after qualification worldwide. There is no doubt about that. But in the next few minutes, what I am trying to explain or to talk about is not about the knowledge part of ICS, which is anyway known. ICS is not only about knowledge. ICS is also about networking, enhancing the industry standards, enhancing the professionalism in the industry. That's why we do not stop only at teaching and lecturing and holding seminars. That's the very reason why we started these customer service awards many years back, because we wanted the industry to enhance the standards in the industry. What we witnessed today, this evening, are the results of the customer service survey that we conducted early this year for the services that the container depots and lines offered to customers in the year 2019. So we will witness who are the winners of this survey based on the results. So why ICS picked this subject of customer service? That's the question that I wanted to address. Because we are not only about knowledge, we are also about enhancing industry standards. Conducting customer service survey every year, back to back, is not an easy task. We started this only with shipping lines, and later we added container depots last year, and now next year we are also planning to add feed operators and also NVOCCs with the help of Slana. So why do we do this difficult task year on year? One would say that we could have simply gone for another format. Let's say there are enough statistics available, right? We could have simply picked the lines who are doing the biggest volumes and awarded them without going through this massive task. So why do we do this as ICS? Because we strongly believe that creating customer value, creating value for the customer is more important than just making profits and volumes. That's the very reason that we wanted to start customer services, continue it, and also to introduce into the other sectors such as depots, to the feeder, and also for the NVOCs. Focusing on customer creation or customer value creation has been proven, especially during this pandemic. The research shows that the companies who were focusing on customer value creation have been more resilient, have been more progressive, and have been more creative during this worldwide pandemic. There are enough examples for us to see how different companies reacted during this pandemic. And now they call it a PCR test. PCR test not to check whether we have got COVID or not, but to see whether we are a company who can sustain, right? What does the PCR stand for the industries? The first P is progressive. The C is creative. The R is resilient. So now the research shows that companies who pass this new PCR test are the companies who were focusing on the value creation, not the companies who were just chasing profits and the volumes. So let me take one example for each item that I spoke of. Progressive. Take a company like Amazon. Right. What do they chase at? Are they simply chasing profits? Right. What do we know about Amazon? What do they try to do? Amazon is creating convenience for the customers, for the whole world. Right? In the very first 17 years, Amazon did not make a single cent of profits. Why? They were only focused about the customer convenience. Look at where they are now. So are we following Amazon, or are we following a company like Kodak who had a natural death? Second one, creative. Take a company like Apple, right? What do they chase? Do they chase only profits or volumes? No, they don't. They always want to make customers' life easier. Right? They do not only are there to serve customers' today's needs, they even anticipate how can we make customers' life better tomorrow. And that's why they are a winner. So when they chase customer value creation, money will anyway chase you. You don't have to chase money first. The last one, resilience of the PCR. Let me take a local example, our own example, ICS. Right. When we were halfway through the exam, through the classes for the exams, then we were hit by the first wave. So we didn't know what to do with our students. Right. We could have given a very simple excuse saying, okay, look here, it's a worldwide pandemic. You have to wait for whenever it is over, so that then only we will continue the classes and hold the exams. No, we didn't do that. We at ICS, we were always focusing on our students, not profits or anything. We wanted to help the students without waiting indefinitely for their next exams. We really wanted to help them. So back at sitting at homes, we were thinking how to help them. Right? So before anyone, we started online classes with whatever the platforms available at that time. Right? And then we continued their classes without any interruption. Right? ICS is represented in many countries, but Sri Lanka is one of the few countries who continued like this. And then finally we got them to sit for the exams. Then came the second wave, we continued the same. And when we were getting ready for the exams, then came the Western Province lockdown. Right? But our focus was very clear. Our focus was not for the excuses or for the problem. We were not focusing on COVID or pandemic. Our focus was on students, how to help them to get through the exams without postponing. So our focus was very clear. So we didn't see the obstacles much. We always wanted to find a solution. So we did everything for the students. Actually, finally, we had the exams during curfew, the height of curfew. So we spoke to the PHIs, the police OICs, and we even got curfew passes for them, and we got them to sit, and they were happy. Right? Then what's the result finally? The result was Sri Lankan students, 2 of them won world prizes this time, who sat for the exam during the pandemic. Now that is because we simply followed our value, not to just imagine if we had just following a small budget, okay, exam registration fees this much, okay, this is what we had to hit for this year. And if our focus was that, what could have happened? We could have thought, okay, since the pandemic, the classes cannot be held, so let's ask them to wait. To achieve our budget, let's do a function and let's do a members' evening and earn that money. So you see the difference between companies who are focused on only profits and companies who are focused on value creation. So that's the reason why we continue to hold these customer service awards, right? For you to enhance your own services and to be customer oriented. So let us chase purpose. Let us chase meaning. Let us chase customer value creation. So that's our clear message to all of you. So when we are competing, let us compete to find customers' problems and solve them. Because the era where we first started with our products and somehow pushed our products to the customer is gone. That's the Ford era, right? Ford era is gone. Now it's Apple and Amazon era, right? So we have to first find what are customers' problems and then find a solution. We start with the customer and then we give the solution. Not that we are trying to push our thing to the customer. So that's the message that we at ICS would like to give to the industry, and we are there to help you, to measure you, right? So starting from this year, we will not only announce winners, we will also share the survey data with you, because we did the we had a criteria. We were asking different questions. For example, how fast a line will issue a bill of lading, how fast a container depot will issue a container, right, like that. So we will give you results, of course, without the names of the customers, right, where you stand. Then you can clearly see where and how you can improve in your customer service. So finally, I would like to again request that collectively and collaboratively, let us chase meaning, chase value, let us chase for us to make this world a better place. I thank you, and I welcome you again to this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abhivikrama. Now, I would like to invite our guest of honor for tonight, Chief Executive Officer of South Asia Gateway Terminal Private Limited, Mr. Romesh David, to address the gathering.
Thank you. General Ratnayaka, Chairman of the Ports Authority, Kingsley, and the Executive Committee of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers, ladies and gentlemen present here, and everyone online on the various media. Thank you firstly very much for the honor of inviting me as your guest of honor tonight. And I was delighted to accept, and I'm delighted also that you have decided to hold the event, albeit in whatever manner possible, as it is very important. I was pleasantly surprised to see that the Institute is now a century old. The Charter is a century old. I am also closely invited with another institute that celebrated our centenary last year, the Chartered Institute of Logistics, and it is indeed, I think, a great testament to the industry here that there are two such august institutes that thrive and have such a thriving membership and presence in the country today, both to do with shipping and transportation. I think Kingsley touched on two very key aspects of the Institute. One is education and the propagation of knowledge, and the other is the focus on customers and the value that we can create as an industry and as a business to our customers. And I think these awards embody those principles. They honor the pursuit of knowledge and the gathering of knowledge, and they also acknowledge and provide a platform for all of us as service providers to come where we are forced to benchmark against each other and against what the customer's expectations are from us. And that in itself really is what pushes the improvement, the betterment year on year, and the very fact that institutes and an organization like the Chartered Shipbrokers have these events, and these are really the purpose of awards around the world. Really, it's not just an acknowledgement and a glorification of achievement, but also a pursuit of excellence and constantly raising the bar. So these, as an organization, we are proud to have been associated with the Institute for many years. And we as a company also embody all of these same values. We place great store by empowering our people with knowledge, in the pursuit of knowledge, both for their own personal development and also in furtherance of obviously enhancing and improving their job roles towards what we in turn deliver to the customer. I think it is reasonable to say that SAGT 20 years ago set the benchmark in terms of terminal operations in this country. changed the perception of what service delivery to customers are or was, and today what is taken as the norm was absolutely groundbreaking at the time. So I think these are some of the attributes that really, for us, make sponsorship of the Institute and of these awards in particular a meaningful and related exercise. Kingsley also asked that I speak a little bit about the current situation in the Port of Colombo. I will leave the details to my landlord and and chairman of the Ports Authority, because he's much better placed. But needless to say, I think it is no secret that since the end of October, we have had challenges. It started with SAGT, which was in a way not really related to COVID, although that was made an excuse. It then moved on after about 5 days to the SLPA, which then after about 10 days moved on to CICT. As a result of which, over the last, until about 10 days ago, the operations of the 3 container terminals in the port were affected to varying degrees, which in the end caused delays and waiting time to ships, caused delays in interterminal transfers, and caused certain backlogs at all 3 terminals. This was also exacerbated to a great extent by the delays in lines and their schedules as well. And I don't think the Port of Colombo helped by adding to those delays. But what we are seeing here in Colombo in terms of the delays and the backlogs and the build-up is, whilst it is no excuse for what happened in the recent past, is not also unique to Colombo. And I think all our customers know that quite well, that ports all over the world, particularly transshipment ports, are facing this kind of delay based around schedule integrity and an influx of cargo. So the port has dealt with it quite decisively under the leadership of General Ratnayaka. There is a lot of cohesion. We are guided fully by the health authorities. We are not immune to infections. All 3 terminals have had people who have come who have been deemed positive, but there is a very concrete and well-defined plan as to how you deal with those, how we deal with that, and how we deal with the fallout of that, which of course is the fact that we can't really pick people off the street or bring them in from retirement to drive the gantries and the RTGs. They're not easily available. So there have been fits and starts, but rest assured that the port, all 3 terminals, are fully up and able to deal with it, and we don't envisage any large-scale collapse. I think one of the other byproducts of the COVID, of the onset of the pandemic, is that while business fell off a cliff in April, it also presented us with a great opportunity, because after the initial shutdown, import volumes built up, there was a need to clear cargo, and there was an ability. I think many of the terminals got together, all 3 terminals, the Department of Customs and the agents got together and started implementing things like the electronic delivery order and the electronic delivery advice. We went with a fairly simple plan to say, okay, how do we not have people come to the dock centers? That was a very basic requirement. I think that then went on to say, how do we not have people come to the shipping agency offices and the counters? And then went on to say, how do we not have people come to the customs and to the long room and to all of that? So I think we were able to, as an industry, knock down some really, really long-held beliefs that people had to physically come and bring checks, bring papers, bring bills of lading, bring delivery orders. All of these got turned on their head. And it is something that we all knew all along. The technology was available, the precedence was available in other parts of the world, but it needed a pandemic for us to implement in Sri Lanka. Now, I think it would be a great shame for us as an industry, and particularly for all of you and everyone listening as professionals in the industry, to ever go back to a place where we go back to carrying documents, distributing manifests, taking bills of lading, picking up payments and checks. We cannot ever go back there. So I think we need to force ourselves and our industry and all the stakeholders, all of us, to say that, look, the only thing that is required in order to clear a container from the port is a truck driver and a truck. Everything else happens from everybody's office. The payment is made from office, the documents are surrendered from office, the delivery details the releases are given electronically from the shipping line to the terminal, from the customs to the terminal, from the origin to the destination. And it is being done all over the world, and we can do it here. So I think an organization like the ICS has to play, because through its members, has to play an extremely dynamic and powerful role in making sure that these very small baby steps that we have taken as a result of the pandemic are completely solidified and made and cast in stone. So I think therein lies the opportunity, and it is a great opportunity for professional institutes to get involved with industry and to bring in technology and progress that is not rocket science, that is not new, but that will make a quantum difference in how trade facilitation happens in this country and how we are perceived as in terms of ease of doing business, because it is still a huge choke point and we must address that. So I'll leave that thought with you. I would also like to congratulate the Institute on holding these awards under very trying circumstances, and wish you all the very best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramesh David. Now, let's take a look at a video message from our corporate sponsor, South Asia Gateway Terminal. I would now like to invite our chief guest for tonight, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, General R.M. Daratnayake, to address the gathering.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chairman ICS, Mr. Kingsley Abevikrama, and his senior staff, and our friend Mr. Ramesh David, CEO of MD of our sister terminal, SAGT, and dear distinguished friends, and those who are seeing and listening to us through the electronic media. After two generals from the industry spoke, and what should I tell, being a layman into the industry. So after coming from the military into this industry, I realized this is a very well structured, organized organization. And I never realized until I came and experienced, interact with you people, and how well you people are organized, this industry and related industries, how they are well organized. I attended few functions of CASA and other SLAO and few other main partners of this industry, and I saw very precise planning, so putting them into practice and all that is perfect. So being a soldier, I really enjoy when things happen into an order. And after today also I realized, though we have a very small gathering, but coming here on time and starting right on time, these are things that we are as a country lacking at this moment. So if these industries do it well, then this will definitely go into other areas as well. So thank you, Kinsley, for organizing this. And first, let me thank you and your organization for giving me this opportunity and coming here and standing in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. And when I look at before I came here, I spoke to some of my seniors in the management and asked what contribution this organization done towards the country and to the industry. And they were talking very high of this industry. Actually, since I'm a newcomer and a layman here, I did not know about the length and breadth, how deep your organizations have contributed into this industry. But I realized, when I spoke to them, I realized that over 100 years, you have been existing for more than 100 years. And in Sri Lanka also more than 3 decades, you have contributed so much to the development of this industry. Then I asked my seniors how the Port Authority have been benefited. They say in order to develop their and advance their knowledge, enhance their knowledge, and also the professionalism, this institution has been towering, the strength, huge strength to our organization. That way, I realize this institution has done a yeoman service to our industry, to the industry to be where we are now. So as Romesh mentioned, if I may just touch upon few things about the present situation in the industry here, especially port and surrounding areas, in the industry. We are going through a serious issue, as you all know, due to pandemic and various other reasons that we are facing some serious challenges. But what I have understood, really realized, is that when being a soldier, I know that in time of conflict, when there is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, the best form to go there is be together, work together, talk to people. That's the best form to get yourself adapted into a situation like this. And I realize all our other sister terminals, especially 3 major terminals, SAGT and CICT, we all came together and we started talking to each other. Then we went beyond that and spoke to all our other shipping organizations, agents, and all the other industrial people in the industry, and everybody got together, and we are taking a challenge as one group. That is how we have overcome. Otherwise, as Romesh mentioned, the pandemic came into us. At the initial stage, of course, from the beginning of this year, we had this issue, but we managed it very well because the challenge was obvious. It was from only one side. It was from outside. We could manage it. It is beyond the waters of the port, the challenge was. But this time, it came beyond the gates. Everything, you understand, the most dangerous area in the country today, the red area, is in and around the port. Therefore, you know the names, in even small area, Blue Mandel, all these are in our vocabulary now, because every day you get reports. For last almost 2 months now, these areas are being under lockdown condition. As a result, now most of our people, the Port Authority has about 600 living quarters, and all are located in this area, especially Blue Mandel and Modera and this area. So most of our other industry, supporting industry offices are located in this area. Custom members, majority of our custom people are also living in this area, and other supporting staff. So majority of us, when Gampaha went under lockdown position, 30% of our staff, all our terminals and other related industry organization, about 30% of the staff from that area. That affected us. As a result, now, but how to overcome this? We have taken all the possible measures to overcome this. The biggest challenge that we face is, as Ramesh mentioned, the ITT issue, interterminal transfer of our accumulated the stuff, containers and TUs. So here we all got together once again and did everything possible to overcome this and hope that within next week or so we will be able to overcome. Now the port is basically functioning under is normal, but accumulated problem to be sorted out will take at least about 7 days or 10 days, then we will be normal. Then the other challenge was the staff issue. As Ramesh mentioned, varying time, all three of the terminals, the functioning was slowed down. As a result, the collective effort of the port, the efficiency of the port went down to a certain extent. We had to pick it up. And then we started recruiting people, recruiting retired people, recruiting people, those who have come on leave from other countries, Sri Lankans who have been working in other ports, have been in Sri Lanka, but we called them and got them as well. Then manpower agencies, we spoke to some of the manpower agencies and got some people recruited. So as Ramesh mentioned, getting them into to maintain the efficiency is not that easy. So we manage, but we are managing. Now it is basically all right, and it has now come back to normal. We'll see. Then we changed the pattern of our working. The sport culture is quite unique, actually. It was quite strange to me, and being a soldier, completely a different culture there. But we had to break into those things and change the pattern of working. Every day they have to go home. So here we introduced this shift system. People have to come and go through a PCR test or antigen test and work for 14 days continuously. So we started all that. Now, with the greatest difficulty, we are on that, and that prevented some of the serious issues. So here, in the today's also, we tested about 480 or 460 people, and 16 were positive, Kinsley. But those 16 people, I am happy to say, that one way, that those are not port direct, our regular staff. They're all hired people from outside, from this area. So that way we can identify a threat and we can get rid of it. So this is how, when we had the challenge of COVID and the staff management, anyway, we worked together and got those things sorted out. Then the other issue is about the berthing facilities and all that is what we are working together. We have started meeting every day. We form task force, and every one of us sitting together on a daily basis and discussing these issues and sorting these things out. Then the other issues, in order to overcome this COVID-19 issue, once again we have developed a task force. Initially, of course, we developed a nice system, and until October, the second wave came in. We were managing very well, but thereafter this issue came. We were surprised, but once again we took the initiative. Now initiative is with us. We are basically maintaining it well now. Then the other thing regarding this developing the professionalism in the industry is very important. In that respect, to sustain this industry, if you're talking about hub port, though we are located right in the center of the world, we have the comparative advantage, but turn it into a competitive advantage, we need our professionalism. We need to work better than the other people. We have everything available in this country. We have top people. In my experience for the last 10 months in the Port Authority and this industry, I realized there are top-class professionals in our industry here. But some of those people are the old stuff. They are now leaving. But the younger generation need this professionalism get into them. It is a requirement. So here, institutions of this nature, yours, one of the most respected, as Kinsley himself mentioned, the organization like yours, institution like yours, can play a key role in this regard. So this is a must thing at this moment. We have to get together and develop the professionalism and the knowledge, enhance the knowledge of our people. And I think it's kind of converting their mindset into a different level to be competitive in this fast-moving competitive society, and you got to be much better than the other people. So with this, I will once again thanking you, and not only from my side, from the Port Authority and the related industry. I would like to thank for giving us this opportunity, Kinsley. And I just went through how the procedures that you have followed, and to give these awards and give rewards to those people who have done well in the industry, I was told. And this is once again a very commendable thing you are doing, and I wish you good luck to you and your institution to do much better to bring Sri Lanka into a high standard. And our objective is to turn this comparative advantage into a competitive advantage and be really a hub port, not just word say, but it has to be, and we have to develop some of the industries from to a very high level to be the competitive and take the competitive advantage. In that respect, your organization, once again, I would like to highlight, has to play a key role, and we are also there to give whatever the assistance from the Port Authority and other area. Our people, we will direct them to come and follow courses with you. And with that, I would say once again, congratulations to all of you, and good luck, and every one of you. Good night to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, General Ratnayaka, for that thoughtful message. As he said, the only way forward is together. Of course, not too much together, because we need to maintain social distancing, because we also want to get rid of this virus once and for all. Now, finally, on to the main event for tonight, the award part of the ceremony. The first category of the award are the ICO ACTO Customer Service Award for Container Depot Operators. Before we find the winners, let's take a look at the criteria of the survey. An independent organization, namely MSoft Private Limited, independently conducted ICS Annual Customer Survey for Container Depot for the year 2019. This survey was, of course, conducted online. The survey targeted consignees, importers, exporters, and shippers who obtained services of the depot. Customers were contacted individually via emails and were taken to give their opinions. The authenticity of the survey was assured by restricting the participation only through the dedicated email links. Few randomly selected customers from each trade line were contacted via telephone for the verification purpose. Customers were given choices to select their preferred container depots. The total for the preferences were calculated for each container depot and ranked accordingly. We now move on to the presentation of the ICS ACTO Customer Service Award for Container Depot. I would like to invite our guest of honor for this event, CEO of South Asia Gateway Terminal Private Limited, Mr. Romesh David, to hand over the awards. ICS ACTO Award for Container Depots Import Sector. Last year's winner for the ICS ACTO Award Import category was won by Logistics International Limited. And this year's nominees for Import Sector are McLaren's Container Private Limited, Spectra Logistics International Limited, and Logistic International Limited. And the winner of the ICS ACTO Customer Service Award Import Sector is Spectra Integrated Logistics Private Limited. Before you go, please tell us, do you have anything to say about the award?
Actually, this was very well organized, and at the beginning we never knew that this will go to that extent. But with greatest difficulty and to our customer service, we managed somehow to give the best service at all times. So thank you very much for all the efforts and the ICS has taken on this, and also well mannered how they conduct and given us the information of how they proceed on this. It's very well set up, and they promise us that they will share us with the feedback as well, so that there's a time for us to think about it and to improve as well. Thank you very much.
And now on to the ICS Actor Awards for Container Depot's export sector. Last year's winner for the ICS Actor Award export sector was won by McLaren's Container Private Limited. This year's nominees for export sector are Spectra Logistics International Limited, McLaren's Container Private Limited, and Logistic International Limited. And the winner of the ICS Actor Customer Service Award for Best Container Depot Export Sector is Logistics International Limited. What would you have to say about winning this award? What do you feel?
Yeah, thank you very much, ICS, organizing such event. And secondly, I would like to thank all the shipping lines that we cater. Luckily, we cater all top 7 lines at LIL, and they are shippers. And lastly, we do have a very dynamic team. So I should dedicate this to our dynamic team. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramesh Davis, for handing out the award. Let's now move on to the next category, the Customer Service Award for Shipping Liner Agents. Now, before we find the winners of this category, let's take a look at the criteria of this survey. Of course, this survey was also conducted by MSoft Private Limited, and it was done independently and conducted online. The survey targeted 6 export trade laners as well as the import category. Customers of the shipping companies on 7 trade lanes were contacted individually via emails and were requested to give their opinion based on the customer service they received for the year 2019. The authenticity of the survey was assured by restricting the participation only through the dedicated email links. Few randomly selected customers from each trade lane were contacted via telephone for the verification purpose. Customers were given the choice to select their preferred shipping agent under 5 areas of customer service under each trade lane. The total of the preference was calculated trade-wise for each shipping agent, and the agent who received the highest preference in each trade lane was picked as the winner. To present the award to the winners, I would like to invite our chief guest for this evening, the chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, General R.M. Dayaratnayaka. ICS Award for 2019 Best Shipping Agent Customer Service Colombo USA Trade. Nominees are Hapag-Lloyd Lanka Private Limited, Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited, American President Lines. And the winner of the ICS Award for 2019 Best Shipping Agent Customer Service Colombo USA Trade is Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. Do you have anything to say about winning the award?
First of all, would like to thank ICS for arranging this ceremony after a long wait. Again, thanks for all the customers who had the faith in us. Again, thanks to all the stakeholders, and greatly to our team who got the most of the effort and put it all their hard work. Thanks again. Thanks.
The next award is the ICS Award Best Shipping Agent, Customer Service, Colombo Mediterranean Trade. The nominees are Hapag-Lloyd Lanka Private Limited, MSC Lanka Private Limited, and Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. And the winner is MSC Lanka Private Limited. What do you have to say for a few words?
Well, first and foremost, it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be receiving this award. Would first like to thank our customers for all the confidence that they've placed in MSC. Secondly, our principals and our local management for all the confidence and the support that they've given me and the team to basically make this possible. And then, last but not least, the entire team at MSC Lanka. Thank you.
The next award is the ICS Award 2019 Best Shipping Agent, Customer Service, Colombo, Europe Trade Sector. The nominees are Hapag-Lloyd Lanka Private Limited, Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited, and American President Line. And the winner is Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. Ocean Network Express Lanka. That's 2 awards now. What is your trade secret to bring these 2 awards?
I think it's our team mainly. Thanks again. Thanks a lot for our customers. I think the team has made tremendous efforts in bringing this customer service together. I think it's dedicated to all our team. Thank you again to all our stakeholders. Thanks again. Second time we are winning the Europe sector.
The next award is the ICS Award 2019 Best Shipping Agent, Customer Service, Colombo Intra-Asia Trade. The nominees are McLaren Shipping Private Limited, American President Lines, and Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. And the winner is American President Lines. What do you have to say about winning the award?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank ICS team for pulling out this event even during difficult times. This award is a very special award for APL, as APL is fading off from commercial activities and only remain in military cargo carriage. So I would like to thank all the customers who had been patronizing APL for 175 years, and all ex-staff who had been contributing a lot and making APL brand as a great brand in Sri Lanka as well as overseas. Also, I would like to thank my dear colleagues at APL and CMA who had worked day in, day out to achieve this award. Also, finally, I would like to thank all our customers who had voted for us and made us proud tonight. Thank you.
The next award is the ICS Award 2019 Best Shipping Agent, Customer Service, Colombo, Gulf and Red Sea Trade Sector. The nominees are Maersk Lanka Private Limited, Evergreen Shipping Agency Lanka Private Limited, and MSC Lanka Private Limited. And the winner is Evergreen Shipping Agency Lanka Private Limited.
First, thank ICS for organizing this and all our customers who supported us and the team back at Evergreen Colombo office to make this possible. Thank you.
The next award is the ICS Award 2019 Best Shipping Agent, Customer Service, Colombo Indian Subcontinent Trade. The nominees are McLaren Shipping Private Limited, American President Lines, and Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. And the winner is American President Lines. Another shipping line has reached 2 awards. Tell us, what is your secret to winning these 2 awards?
Yeah, I humbly accept this award on behalf of CMA team. And I must thank each individual of CMA because this is teamwork, and which is backed by the top. I must thank Mr. Umund Dunuvila and Mr. Ikram Ghazali for all the guidance and advices. And today I must not forget our customers. We are here today because of the customers, and I really appreciate their support throughout. And finally, I must thank ICS for this wonderful award and this wonderful ceremony. Thank you.
And the final award for tonight, the ICS South Asia Gateway Terminals Award 2019, Best Shipping Agent, Customer Service, Overall Inbound Trade. The nominees are MSC Lanka Private Limited, American President Lines, and Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited. And the winner for the award is Ocean Network Express Lanka Private Limited.
Thanks again. I think we have made the 3 awards last year, so I think we remain the 3 awards this year as well. Thank you very much. First time we have got the Imports Award. Thank you very much for all the customers and all the stakeholders. Thanks.
Thank you, General Ratnayaka, for handing over the awards. And congratulations to all the award winners and receiving your awards for all the hard work that you have done this year. With that, we wrap up tonight's exciting award ceremony, and I would like to invite the Secretary of the ICS Sri Lanka, Ms. Shamali Premasinghe, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, David. Our chief guest today, Honorable Chairman of SLPA, General R.M. Daya Ratnayaka, our guest of honor, Chief Executive Officer, SAGT, Mr. Romesh David, Chairman, ICS Sri Lanka Branch, Mr. Kingsley Abebikrama, distinguished invitees, award recipients, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of ICS Sri Lanka Branch, let me take this opportunity to thank General Daya Ratnayaka, Chairman, Sri Lanka Ports Authority, for accepting our invitation as our chief guest and for gracing this occasion in spite of your busy schedule. Thank you, sir, for being with us, and we are privileged and delighted to have your presence. And no doubt, Our award recipients of the maritime industry are truly privileged to have your presence to witness and celebrate their success on this day. Mr. Romesh David, Chief Executive Officer, South Asia Gateway Terminals, thank you, sir, for being our guest of honor. We truly appreciate your presence. Today, we have with us many online participants who could not make it physically to this event due to the recent health protocols imposed by the government of Sri Lanka as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. We would like to thank each and every one of them for spending their valuable time to join us virtually for this event. We would like to thank our long-standing corporate sponsors, South Asia Gateway Terminals, for their contribution and generosity. Mr. Sisira Aturaliage and his team at ImedSoft, we at ICS are proud to have associated with your professional organization and look forward to work closely in the future too. Our executive committee, thank you, Kingsley, Manjula, Charinda, Kalinga, Shimron, Anuradha, as well as Sudha in successfully organizing this event despite many challenges. Last but not least, I would like to thank our long-standing AV partner, Kapila, and his team of live productions for a wonderful job done by catering to the new requirements of the new normal. We also like to thank Gihan Nadira of Evoke's Tech for his support in boosting our social media channels. Mr. Vitanachi, the general manager of the team of the SSC Club, for their excellent arrangements. Our official photographer, our compeer, Mr. David, for keeping the sessions alive. Distinguished members of the head table, and my dear friends, thank you once again for your kind presence. And on behalf of ICS, let me say goodbye until we meet again at our next award ceremony in March next year. Thank you and have a great evening.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's exciting award ceremony, and we would like to invite all our guests for refreshments behind you while adhering to health guidelines. Now, before we go, we would like to invite all the award winners to come forward for a group photo at the head table. Thank you and good night.
I'm a member of the ICS.
I had qualified as an associate member of the Institute.
I am a member of ICS.
I'm a member of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers for two main reasons. Firstly, the phenomenal professional network that you have become a part of, and secondly, it's a commitment to myself and to my clients to strive for professional excellence.
My professional qualification has been useful because it shows those with whom I'm dealing that I have a broad knowledge of shipping, not just the area in which I work, and I have a professional standard as well.
Having a professional qualification is it's a good networking opener. It brings you into a group of people that you might not have met before, and also gives that credibility that you need in your professional life as well.
Being a member of the ICS obviously confers letters after your name. It gives you a networking platform as well, because you tend to meet people, and once you exchange business cards, which people tend to do a lot, you see MICS, and then there's almost an international kindred spirit that you have with other members as well.
And I think it was global recognition. Most of your other accreditations are restricted to a specific area, But that being a global recognized professional body, I became a member so that I can be part of a esteemed group of individuals who always aspire to best practice in what they do.
If you want to know what's going on in the world and keep up to date with everything, you really need to be a member of the Institute.
For my career, it's definitely given people a comfort and a belief that she has got the minimum international standard. She has been educated to a specific level and therefore is a professional who will take the words of "my word is my bond" to heart.
It made me more employable. I had a qualification, obviously, but if you've got an ICS qualification, an employer will look at that and say, well, he must have had an aptitude for study, he must have got some concentration and hung in there to do the job, and also it makes him feel comfortable. You've got a big background knowledge of the industry, so the ICS is worth doing.
It's helped me to develop my career. It's helped me a lot of I don't know. Having and the knowledge behind you certainly helps you when you're walking into an office of strangers to sort of put across that you do know what you're doing. The ICS, the MICS or FICS behind your name carries a lot of weight, and it is respected wherever you go.
In my current job itself, it has given me recognition from my peers, and it has given me a lot of confidence, and more importantly, it has given me new horizons, new areas to explore as far as my career is concerned.
I started as a sales coordinator in a shipping company. Then I moved on, and in the current, very short span, now I'm a deputy GM in another shipping company. So I'm sure that it was my professional qualification which has led me to that ranks.
It's helped me come from a water clerk, which is the entry position in port agency, to become a managing director of a UK-wide ship agency company.
I'm proud of my qualifications. It was blood, sweat and tears during the exams and the evening classes. So for me, the ultimate goal was to be a member. A membership confers you international recognition in the industry. It was also a foot in the door in terms of trying to get a job in the industry. So for me, it was necessary to have that as my starting ground to be able to follow through to where I am today.
Well, shipping is essentially the glue between the world economies.
All the time you've got physical ships moving around, carrying commodities from every port to every other place. And it's all going on 24 hours a day, non-stop, completely unseen for the most part.
Shipping drives international trade. It is the mother of globalization, and it ensures prosperity for the world.
Around 90–95% of all goods are being transported at sea at one stage, whether it's raw material or a finished product. So that is really thrilling about the industry.
It is becoming more and more clear to the world that shipping is vital, and I emphasize the word vital, to all our lives.
People don't really know about it because we're not very good at publicising ourselves, but I can honestly recommend it to any young person wanting a career today.
It's so vibrant, so dynamic, there's so much going on. It's a really amazing industry.
Every day is different. You have different ships coming into port, you have different captains coming on the ships, different crew, different situations. You wake up in the morning, you don't know what the day is going to bring.
The workforce is diverse, multinational,
and some of the most passionate, enthusiastic and knowledgeable people I've met through working in the shipping industry.
It actually challenges you in every way, and it throws opportunities that you want on a daily basis. So it's a very dynamic field to be in.
I think also the level of responsibility of a 20-year-old, he's looking after bringing in a ship that's worth 20, 30 million, a cargo that's maybe worth 50, 60 million, and you're giving him that responsibility. I don't know too many other industries where you get that level of responsibility that quickly.
Things change, and as it's not constant, like, you know, you have to keep on learning, and that's why shipping is so nice, you know, in the sense that to survive and do well, you have to keep on upgrading your skills.
I went to sea in 1969 as an apprentice, and I worked my way up. And if you're not going to do that, then the only success you'll get in shipping comes from a qualification. You've got to get a qualification to get ahead.
It's the confidence that comes along with that. Knowing that you've invested in your career, in your future, it makes you a better professional.
The advice I give to anybody coming into the industry is to understand how the whole trade and shipping cycle works together. Undoubtedly, an individual will be focused on one area, but that one area is only part of a large chain.
Shipping is a massive industry. It's developed into many spin-offs, and I think that they should try at least 2 or 3 different sectors. And then after trying 2 or 3 sections, you can have an idea which one you best fit into.
Strive to know everything in the industry and also pull in on your network, because network is key.
Read everything. The industry is full of sort of different articles, newspapers. You have to be up to date and current with your knowledge. To do that, you need to study, you need to read what's happening and keep up to track with what is going on in the world around you, because all of that affects the shipping industry that you're in or looking to make your career.
Reputation is everything, and the relationships you forge early on in your career, if you look after them correctly, will bear fruit later on.
Find a good mentor, and that could include the company you're working for, to offer you advice and help you study. Education is a key.
Be flexible and to grasp every opportunity. In shipping, we have so many choices to travel and different sectors to be in. And I think if you're not flexible enough to take those as they come up, you won't get as much out of shipping as you possibly could.
Listening and absorbing information is the most important advice I could give to anybody. Knowledge is strength, so you really do need to know your subject.
I'm very fortunate to love what it is that I do, and I think that if you can find something that you love, you will automatically be good at it, you would enjoy doing it. Going to work isn't a chore, so primarily it's just being lucky to find out and discover what it is you love.
And if you're somebody who likes to make a difference on a global level, this is obviously a good career.
I've been in it for 45 years. I really don't think I can count on one hand a day which I have not enjoyed being in this industry.
Studying for ICS qualifications will enhance your knowledge greatly.
I chose to study with the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers because they're the leading professional education provider. They're a historic institute, they've been established for over 100 years. They have the World Charter, and they covered all the bases when it came to shipping education. You've got the academics to back up any business acumen you might have.
The maritime industry is extremely competitive, especially at entry level. I felt that committing to the ICS at an early part of my career would help with that competitive advantage.
For any employer, it demonstrates a commitment to the industry and an interest in the industry, which any employer will view as very important.
The advice I give to anybody coming into the industry is to understand how the whole trade and shipping cycle works together. Undoubtedly, an individual will be focused on one area, but that one area is only part of a large chain. The ICS course is very good for understanding how the whole chain works together.
Even if you have a lot of experience, it can still give you new insights into the field, and it can give you a lot of new knowledge, which should definitely help you further in your career.
For me, it was trying to make sure that I was going in with the best foot forward and a solid foundation from an academic perspective as well.
Well, at Braemar, we require all of our new trainees to go through the ICS professional qualification. We regard it as a positive step for their career.
It made me more employable. I had a qualification, obviously, but if you've got an ICS qualification, an employer will look at that and say, well, he must have had an aptitude for study, he must have got some concentration and hung in there to do the job, and also it makes him feel comfortable. You've got a big background knowledge of the industry, so the ICS is worth doing.
It just gives you that bit more broader knowledge that helps you when you're speaking. In my case, one day I'll be speaking to a dry cargo ship owner, the next day it may be a tanker charterer, so I can get onto their terms, understand where they're coming from, and that's the knowledge that I've gained through the ICS.
The ICS offers that credibility, and the knowledge that comes with it gives you power, and knowledge is essential.
I would say it's a kite mark to the industry, having an ICS qualification.
I'm proud of my qualifications. It was blood, sweat and tears doing the exams and the evening classes. So for me, the ultimate goal was to be a member. A membership confers you international recognition in the industry.
I would highly recommend anybody coming into the shipping industry to study for the ICS exams.